men for thousands of years who were not led and guided by the Holy Spirit, who brought in their own self-willed doctrines. But I don't want to, digress. So let's keep proceeding with this article, right? I just wanted to notate that. So it says, and those who question are not simply disagreeing with their pastor. Oh no, you are going against 2,000 years of what those who follow the Spirit of God have always believed and accepted as truth. Remember, believe not every spirit. While tradition and orthodoxy have been instrumental in preserving certain truths, and indeed there is a profound beauty to be found in sacramental liturgy, the reality is that for centuries, Christian orthodoxy preserved itself through fear and control, opting to protect its doctrinal truth through the active suppression of opposing ideas. I'm going to read that again. Christian orthodoxy preserved itself through fear and control. That was the hell doctrine. It's a fear doctrine, okay? It's for control, opting to protect its doctrinal truth through the active suppression of opposing ideas. Right. So if you question any of these doctrines that these Christian so-called scholars and theologians subscribe to, they'll suppress you. Okay. Or they'll attempt to. What's particularly ironic is that the modern evangelical church tries hard to distance itself from the teachings of the Roman Catholic Church, while the core of its theology comes directly out of the councils, doctrines, and creeds established by the Roman Catholic and Latin Church. Again, what's particularly ironic is that the modern evangelical church tries hard to distance itself from the teachings of the Roman Catholic Church, while the core of its theology comes directly out of the councils, doctrines, and creeds established by the early Roman Catholic and Latin Church. The truth is that since the very beginning, church history has been riff. Let's see if I'm saying that right. Riff. Let's see that. Rife. Especially of something undesirable or harmful of common occurrence. Widespread. Okay? So it means it has been widespread. All right? It says church history has been rife with unrest, conflict, and even bloodshed, primarily over matters of establishing orthodoxy. And just in case, let's look at this word orthodoxy. Brothers should know what this means, but I want to get it for edification's sake.
Orthodoxy.
Authorized or generally accepted theory, doctrine, or practice. So the scriptures tell us, follow not a multitude to do evil. So when something pertaining to the Bible is considered orthodoxy, there's a group of men that have come together and decided upon those different doctrines, all right, or whether they are to be accepted. Now, again, we don't follow men. I'm going to give a precept on that note real quick, right? This is the book of Acts. This is and I'll get one more. I wanted to get this one. This is Acts 5:29. I read it both in the KJV and NLT. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, rather than men. But Peter and the apostles replied, we must obey the Most High rather than any human authority. Okay? Because one thing about it, men lie. And the Most High, he's not a man that he should lie. All right? Yeah, it's Romans 3 and verse 4. All right? And I started 3. It's Romans 3 and 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? God forbid. Yet let the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua be true, but every man a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sins and mightest overcome when thou art judged. All right? So I wanted to get that. All right? And let's get back to the article. It says, and with today's easy access to the annals of church history, it's time for us churchgoers to rethink the myth of orthodoxy, all right, and begin reevaluating what we've been taught, searching the scriptures, proving all things, all right, believing not every spirit. For instance, many Christians insist that if you question hell, you are rejecting what has always been agreed upon by the church. Yet the doctrine of eternal torment was not a widely held view for the first 5 centuries after Yahushua. I'm going to read that again. For instance, many Christians insist that if you question hell, you are rejecting what has always been agreed upon by the church. Yet the doctrine of eternal torment was not a widely held view for the first 5 centuries after Hamashiach Yahushua, particularly in the early Eastern church, the church of the early apostles, and church fathers such as Paul, Clement of Alexandria, St. Gregory of Nyssa, Origen, and others. All right. So it's saying that these men of the Eastern Roman Catholic Church, they didn't subscribe to eternal torment. All right. What we do see during this time is expansion and a proliferation of pagan myths about the afterlife, which were then repackaged as eternal fiery torment in the Western Catholic Church. All right. And that's why the Western Catholic Church fell. Okay. Because they started implementing all that pagan idol worship and Greek mythology into the Holy Scriptures. All right. And the Spirit of the Most High destroyed their ass, man. Okay. Yahweh Shimi Yahushua broke that shit up. It says primarily by Latin theologians and church leaders from Rome. It seems this was most likely motivated by political expediency. All right. Because you had the political side of Rome that was dictating different doctrines into the church. Okay, that's what was going on. The idea of eternal torment was a prime tool, hey, just like today, right? One particular thing that was implemented into society, and they used the Bible to ultimately back it, which the Bible is totally against it, is same-sex marriage. because when you go back to what was that, 2014, I believe. All right, that's when Obama uh was in office, which he was sworn in on the Holy Bible, and then he turned right around and legalized sodomy. Okay, so you see how the political uh influence of society has the you know seemingly has the authority to ordain things as right, all right, and use the Bible as their prop to do so. Okay, that's just on a lower level, but that was something major that changed society in a major way. Okay, because you will have individuals who will say, "Well, Obama swore on the Bible, he's not a Christian." Okay, but yet this so-called "in God we trust" American built society, you know, they always have the Bible uh in their courtrooms and at their inaugurations, but uh they don't uh subscribe to pure doctrine, to true doctrine, right? Matter of fact, they do just the opposite. As we go to the book of Psalms, right? We always bring this out. This is Psalms 50. Psalms 50 and verse 16. I'm going to read it in the NLT. Okay. This is Psalms 50, 16 in the NLT. But the Most High says to the wicked, why bother reciting my decrees and pretending to obey my covenant? For you refuse my discipline and treat my words like trash. All right. It says, when you see thieves, you approve of them, and you spend your time with adulterers. Your mouth is filled with wickedness, and your tongue is full of lies. All right. That's it. Back to the article. All right. It says, what we do see during this time is the expansion of proliferation of pagan myths about the afterlife, which were then repackaged as eternal fiery torment in the Western Catholic Church, primarily by Latin theologians and church leaders from Rome. It seems this was most likely motivated by political expediency. The idea of eternal torment was a prime tool for controlling the average churchgoer with fear and was congruent with secular mythologies of the time. Read it again. The idea of eternal torment was a prime tool for controlling the average churchgoer with fear and was congruent with secular mythologies of the time, Greek mythology particularly. Later, pop culture added fuel to the fire, pun intended, through imaginative works like Dante's Inferno. All right. So when you go back to this image that I had, on the screen in the beginning, this is an image, all right, from Dante's Inferno. Now, when you go to Dante's Inferno, all right, this is a book, all right. Okay, this is a book right here. Dante's Inferno, the 9 circles of hell. All right. So this is some shit that they added in, right, and in certain different denominations, they actually subscribe to this shit. You know, like there, not only is there a hell, but there's layers of hell. There's circles of hell. You know, limbo. You see, it says there. It says gluttony, greed, anger, heresy, violence, fraud, treachery. So I guess according to them, whatever your sins was determined where you landed in the 9 circles of hell. You know, it is some bullshit. Okay. His scriptures totally disannul of this. When you go to let's get this. Before I even go there, let's go to Ecclesiastes, right? This is Ecclesiastes 3 and this is Ecclesiastes 3 and 16. It says, and moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. Okay. The place of judgment under the sun is talking about the earth. The earth is where judgment is played out. And the article is going to expound on that as we read further into it. Okay. Earth is the place of judgment, right? When we die, we go before the council of the Most High in the heavens and the spiritual realm. And our judgment is set to be, our judgment is set, and the sentencing of that judgment is, it takes place on earth. All right. You go back to the planet Earth, and the life that you live on the planet Earth is determined in the heavens. Okay. So the different trials and tribulations. All right. Whether you live a heavenly lifestyle or a lifestyle that brings that you have to go through hellacious conditions. All right. Where you have to go through hellacious conditions. All this is determined in the heavens, man. Okay. So saying, moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. Okay. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 7. It says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was. All right. So when you are born onto the earth, you live a particular lifestyle, all right, which is determined in the heavens. Your judgment, all right, is predestined in the heavens, so to speak. All right. And then when you come down on earth, you play out that judgment on earth. When you die, all right, your vessel, which your spirit occupies, it returns to the earth, the elements that it was made from. And it says, the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it. It doesn't matter whether you were wicked on earth or you were righteous on earth. All spirits return to the Most High. Okay? So let's prove it. Right? Whether you're good or evil. Right? So this is I believe it's in Job. This is Job 3 and 17. And I'm going to read it in the NLT, right? I'm going to read Job 3. I'm going to start at 16 and read through 18. And I'm going to read it in the NLT, okay? All right, so this is Job 3 and 16. Why wasn't I buried like a stubborn child, like a baby who never lives to see the light? For in death the wicked cause no trouble, and the weary are at rest. Even captives are at ease in death, with no guards to curse them. Okay? So this thing about eternal torment, all right, the scriptures don't subscribe to that. And like the article said, uh 5 centuries after Yahweh Shai had passed is when that hell doctrine was implemented into the Bible. Because before that, nobody subscribed to that, man, because the scriptures don't support that. Okay? I read Job 3 in the KJV, verse 17. There the wicked cease from troubling, and the weary be at rest. There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. All right, so there's no oppression in death. All right, in the spirit realm, you are at rest. Okay, let's get back to the article, man.